I need more lighting in here. Something fierce. Let's talk about this a little bit. Over here, can you see this? Ooh. This is a little bit lighter, as you can see. This is the combination of yarns I started with this weaving. And then once I actually started weaving, there was one of the yarns that I decided not to use. And so this started looking a little bit light. So then I started changing it out like I told you guys I was going to. I brought in the dark yarn to do that. And I think this is just like tying together a lot more. And then I'm in the process of replacing the rest. And by replacing, I mean just taking it off, getting rid of the one strand of yarn and adding in the dark one. Again, this is like probably getting a little excessive what I'm doing with this, but I really want it to be great. And this was one of those projects that wasn't for a specific person, so it's kind of just whatever I choose it to be. And yeah, I'm definitely, as much as I love neutral colors, I'm kind of staring at all my colorful merino over on the other side of the room, and I think after this one, I'm definitely going to be excited to work with a little bit more color. But that's an update on this guy. I still need to add in the dark yarn right here, and then I can kind of keep moving forward. I don't think it's going to be super tall. I think it'll probably end somewhere around here. And then of course I will show you when it's finished. So we'll just call that a weave update. What's a good word for that? Whatever. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this update. I have been struggling with my yarn ball winder for a long time now because I just have one of those like cheap Knit Picks ones, and all plastic ball winder is fine for like light use, but it's getting to the point where I'm winding up a lot of balls of yarn. So I ordered this one at the suggestion of one of you. I can't remember who it was, but this is a lot more heavy duty, and so I'm really excited to try it. So I thought I would do a little unboxing for you. And apparently Genji really needs to be in this too. I'm really nervous about this knife though. Okay, here we go. It's like a little intense for box opening. And there's another box. Okay, so it's the, I guess I could read you on the box. Stanwood Needlecraft Large Metal Yarn Ball Winder. It is a 10 ounce. They are so handy because they're also really fast, because that's the other thing about the plastic ones is like they don't wind very fast. I mean, if you just look at this, I'll show you a comparison to my other one later, but this is huge. So I'm definitely going to enjoy this a whole lot more. And because I'm wanting to start putting together fiber packs, there's going to be even more winding of the yarn. So I thought it was time. Oh yeah. This thing is beefy. It's like all metal. It's heavy. So I think this is going to be really great. Sorry, it goes this way. Kendrew's really interested. So yeah, I'm gonna put this together and I will show you later how it works, and maybe I'll just do a little comparison for you between this and the Knit Picks one. Because if you're in the market for one, the Knit Picks one I think is only like $25 or $30 Canadian, so that's even less American. This was, I think with shipping all in on Amazon, was $117. So it's a little bit more of an investment, but it's going to be worth it to not be fighting with that other one. I will throw a link in the description below if you want to check this one out too. So yeah, I'm gonna put this together and I'll show you how it works. I've had the new Stanwood ball winder for a couple of days now, and I mean new to me, I think it's been out for a very long time, but I just thought I would show you and kind of do a comparison to show you the difference between the two. So this is the Stanwood and this is the Knit Picks one. This is very similar to the one that Michaels sells. And I think even Stanwood makes one similar to this little one as well. So this guy, this little arm here, I don't like that it kind of like freely moves. I usually have it taped down because I find that, especially with thick yarn, actually any size yarn, it doesn't cooperate. And I also find that the little notches that are on the top of this to kind of stick your yarn in don't do a very good job, and my yarn usually comes out. So as you can see even now, see how it's balling up at the very top of the cone? So that means this wasn't at the right angle. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo it and just try to find the right, see, even that isn't great, but I'll just do a bunch. I always hold it because I find this one, the tension isn't very good, so I add tension just with my hand here. I'll try to move my hand though so you can see what's happening. So you can see that the way that this one winds is the actual, this thing is moving and this is staying still. And see, now it also just slipped. Now I'm gonna keep going and show you how far it can go before it's too big of a ball. So right about here, this actually is going better than usual, which is unusual. So it lets you do a pretty big ball of yarn, but see, now it's starting to go on the top, and I'm only about halfway through like a full ball yarn. Also, what I find with this one is it's quite a loose ball of yarn. So it's, well, it's not the worst. It's like a little bit tedious. I find, again, like if I move this, then that'll start ruining my ball of yarn. So yeah, the thing about this one is it's all plastic. You can see that like it doesn't go very fast, and if you try to make it go really fast, it cooperates even less. Let's put this big guy on here. See, this one needs a little extra space because this actually swings around. So I'm gonna just clamp this down to my table here. And then this, you can just put straight out from here. And there's a little, right here, there's a little wing nut that you can tighten up so that it doesn't want to move on you as much. I think it would be better. I might actually put a washer between the two just to keep it a little bit tighter. So that tightens up like that. And then I'll put that through there and this through there. So this one, it has notches that are, again, it's wanting to show you here, but it has notches that are a little bit deeper, which I like. So it kind of snugs onto that yarn a little bit better. And then here's the thing with this one. So you're gonna see it. So this turns as well as this bar turns. And I don't, like, I'm going to add tension, but I don't really need to. And you can see that you can go quite fast. Oh, see, this moved on me, which is great, but it's like a really smooth process. And that is a huge cake of yarn. Yeah, like that's an entire, like, typical ball of yarn from like Michael's. This was I don't know, 130 grams or so. So it does a really good job. It's a tighter ball of yarn, which with these cakes I kind of prefer because otherwise they kind of just want to fall apart. But I am so excited about this Stanwood. I believe the Knit Picks one was like maybe $30 Canadian. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's more. But about $30 Canadian. And this one, like with shipping and everything, this was $117 Canadian. So I will definitely throw links in the description below so that you can check it out. I'll throw a Canadian link as well as an American one. That's a little bit of a comparison for you on the two. I would definitely say if it's in your budget to get this one, because what's nice about this one is that you can do small or big cakes on it. So if I wanted to make one half the size of this, it's fine. Whereas like the Knit Picks one, you're limited. You can only go like this. I never would have been able to do this much yarn on the little Knit Picks one. It would have just gotten to a point and started not having any more space to wind. So this is like a bamboo yarn, and this was a hot mess on the Knit Picks one. Maybe we should just do a test on the Stanwood just to see what it does with this, really, because it's really it's really smooth, silky yarn, and so it's quite slippery. So I am kind of curious as to if this Stanwood one makes that process any better. So let's turn you and let's give that a whirl. It may not be any better. Did I put that in the right way? Yes, I think so. So yeah, this hugs that yarn much better. On the Knit Picks one, I'm often finding that I have to like tape the yarn to the top just so that it doesn't slip off. But I'm just gonna try this and just see how it performs. My arm is getting sore. So this thing can really go as fast as you want it to. Got a bit of a knot. Okay, so it did kind of get messed up at the end, but it's definitely a much better job than the Knit Picks one did, because it's, again, with being a little bit tighter, this kind of yarn, that helps a lot. I hope that was helpful, because I know when I asked people for their suggestions on yarn ball winders, a lot of you wanted to know which one I ended up buying. There was some really cool ones that were handmade, like on Etsy. I think they had them on Amazon too. I would have bought one off Etsy though, of course, but they were handmade and they were really beautiful. But I started reading some of the reviews and comments, and a lot of people were saying that you had to, like, your hands and wrist got quite sore if you were balling up a lot of yarn, because instead of being sort of this vertical crank, it was like a horizontal crank, so you had to move in this motion. And so again, if you're looking for something that's just really pretty and you're not balling up a lot of yarn, that would be a great option. But if you're going to be balling up a lot of yarn, so I'm going to be doing fiber packs very soon. I'm just waiting for the rest of the supplies to come in. So I want to make sure those are in these little like cakes, because I find that to be the easiest way to deal with the yarn is instead of a skein, because again, with the skein, if you don't have a yarn ball winder, that might be really annoying to get a bunch of skeins in the mail and have to just like try not to tangle them up too much. So that's where this came in. It's a beast. Like, it just feels good when you wind it. And so good job, Stanwood. I like this one. I believe this is either the exact one or a very similar one to what we had in college. And it makes your life a little easier. I love the freedom of basically doing any size of ball that I want. So if I want to ball up an entire massive skein of yarn, or like reball one of these, typical like Michael's style balls of yarn, I can do that. So yeah, I mean, you get what you pay for, essentially. I definitely think this is worth the price. But if that's not in your budget, the Knit Picks one, again, similar one sold at Michael's, similar one sold by Stanwood. That's a lot cheaper, but is a little bit more painful of a process. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. This is a little bit of a different vlog. I don't usually do like comparisons like this, but I thought it would be really helpful because I know that I immediately went on YouTube to look at how this guy worked and whether or not somebody thought it was good. So I definitely recommend this one if you plan to do that a lot or it's in your budget. It's worth it. I hope this is a helpful review for you guys because I know a lot of you were really interested when I purchased this yarn ball binder by Stanwood, and I really love it. I've used it a couple of times now and I think it's really great, and it's the kind of tool that I feel like I'm never gonna have to replace. And what's great about the Stanwood that I forgot to mention is that you can actually buy replacement parts for it. So that's also really great. You might pay a lot up front, but it's gonna last a lot longer. And just like many things in life, you kind of get what you pay for. So I hope this was helpful. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell to get notifications when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.